Top story at this hour. Another shocking case of corruption has now emerged from the sacred precincts of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams. The TTD has uncovered a major procurement scam involving ceremonial silk dupatta items traditionally presented to donors, participants and dignitaries. An internal vigilance review has now revealed that a long-time supplier allegedly passed off polyester dupattas as pure mulberry silk for nearly 10 years. These dupattas were billed to the temple as high-quality silk products in clear violation of tender norms, causing losses amounting to several crores. The irregularities were detected after TTD Chairman B.R. Naidu ordered a full verification of tender specification. The approved tender mandates 100% pure mulberry silk woven using 20 by 22 denier yarn with a minimum resultant counts of 31.5 denier. They must also carry inscription of Om Namo Venkatasai along with temple symbols. But when the vigilance team inspected the supplies, they found that none of these conditions had been met. The dupattas contained no silk at all. With clear evidence of long-running malpractice, the case has now been handed over to the Andhra Pradesh Anti-Corruption Bureau for deeper investigation. And this expose comes on the heels of two other troubling cases that have shaken public's faith. Just days ago, the Parakamani theft, and the case resurfaced when accused C.V. Ravi Kumar released a video confessing to stealing donations from the temple's counting halls while denying reports of bribery. He was caught in 2023 with nearly $900 allegedly stolen from Parakamani's halls. Questions were also raised during the Tirumala Laddu scam, where adulterated ghee was secretly supplied for years between 2019 and 2024, compromising the sanctity of the temple's most sacred offering. Taken together, these back-to-back scandals point to a worrying pattern, a repeated breach of trust in one of the holiest temples in India. With the latest fraud now under ACB scrutiny, TTD faces renewed pressure to restore transparency, accountability and public faith. My colleague Gautam joining us with more details. Gautam, another case of corruption now coming from Tirumala Tirupati, this time involving the procurement of ceremonial dupatta. It was believed that it was 100% mulberry silk, but found to be polyester upon careful consideration and scrutiny.
Yes, Shweta. And like you rightly mentioned, it's multiple scams now. One scam after another. Now, this Dupatta scam is just the latest episode that we are seeing in a series of procurement and theft-related controversies surrounding the TTD in recent times. And like you rightly pointed out as well, just in September last year, we had the Laddu Prasadam, where adulterated ghee was found in that. And then in April 2023, we had the Parakamani case as well, where a clerk was associated with the temple was actually stealing money. And this multiple cases of recurring scandals basically have shaken the faith of the devotees. And not just that, we have to keep in mind that while the scandals have been exposed, questions have to be asked of the management of the TTD as well. Why was there such a big internal oversight in the functioning and mechanism of one of the richest and the biggest religious institutions in India? And this has to lead to broader questions. Why was there no vetting of this vendor for about 10 years? Because keep in mind that this scam hasn't been taking place for the last 1 year or 2 years. It is for a period of 1 decade. That means since 2015, this scam has been carried out, and this one single firm and its sister concerns was responsible for the bulk of the clothes supply to TTD during this period as well. And right now, we understand that the TTD has acted swiftly based on a vigilance report. They have sought an anti-corruption bureau report on this. But for 10 years, why was this not done? You turned a blind eye on this, and this basically means that it is the devotees' hard-earned money that have been donating for a period of 10 years that has gone down the drain. And this is where the questions have to be asked of the TTD management as well. And about this particular case itself, if you have to look deeply into what really has transpired, what we understand is that It is a 54 crore silk dupatta scam, and this has been happening for a period of 10 years. And it only came to light after an internal vigilance inquiry found that the contractor consistently supplied 100% polyester dupattas. Now, polyester and silk has a very close resemblance, but it is not that close as well. You can actually tell it apart, the feel of the silk versus polyester dupattas, but then tenders were given year after year after year, and this has happened. And now an internal probe has basically shed light on this massive scam that has taken place in Tirumala Tirupati.
Absolutely, and I think not just the severity of it, but also the fact that it was a 10-year-long scam, Gautam. I think that also raises questions as to how nobody really paid notice or paid heed to the fact that something is being passed off as pure silk when, on the other hand, it's completely polyester, as you rightly pointed out. Although the difference is not very stark, a person who is well aware of the clothing type and clothing material can make out the difference. So essentially, it goes on to say that everybody was sleeping through it. The management was sleeping through it, and any person who had to do with the tender, dealing of these dupattas, did not pay close attention or deliberately did not care. Reeks of negligence there on the part of TTD administration.
Absolutely. That is the right way to look at it, because keep in mind, for 10 years, this particular firm was giving shawls that cost about 350, and it was built at about 1,300 rupees. And the total supplies would basically amount to whatever amount they have quoted, that it is about 50 crore rupees, and they have now asked for an ACB probe. But the samples of the scarf, why weren't they tested earlier? Why isn't this a routine procedure in TTD to ensure that scientific analysis is conducted? Right now, we have sent it to the Central Silk Board as well, and tests have confirmed that the material was polyester, and which is a clear violation. Well and truly agreed. But what about for a period of 10 years? That means you have someone in the board over there who has been negligent, maybe, and how can that happen for a period of 10 years? Or deliberately there has been an oversight, and that has to be another probe that has to be ordered here to look into whether there was internally someone was standing to benefit from this entire scam, because these polyester shawls just cost about 350, and it was being built at a cost of 1,300. So the entire scam could amount to about 50 to even a lot more than that. And
Okay.
that means someone has been profiteering. Was it just this particular firm? And was it also someone from the Tirumala Tirupati
Right.
Devasthanams as well? So an internal committee has to look into this particular case as well. And this has to come from the government.
Absolutely.
It's current through that the ACB probe has been sought by the TTD, but now the government has to step in and ensure that there's no more tarnishing of the image of TTD that takes place,
Right.
and they have to put it into this.
So, after a number of scams now coming to light, be it the Laddu scam, followed by the Dwarkapala gold scam, and the case of corruption, as well as money theft, latest now adding to a long list of exposés and scams coming from Tirumala is that, polyester shawl and polyester a piece of clothing, as opposed to what was expected by the way of the ceremonial silk dupatta, and that scam will now be looked into by the Anti-Corruption Bureau. That's the latest we're picking. Thank you very much.